Hi, is your company using the threat intelligence to run threat modeling? If the answer is no, it's a missed opportunity. Let me explain why. If you have threat intelligence, most likely you collecting that information. Perhaps you don't call it that. Perhaps you have something informal. However, if you have a cybersecurity team or you're concerned with a cybersecurity organization, you will have some shape or form a form of threat intelligence. The objective here is to use that information not just to be informed about it or just put in different words and report that to management. That is not the objective. Use that threat intelligence to run threat modeling, to provide real value to your organization. What would be the impact to your organization if any of those vulnerabilities become, against your network? It turns reality on your network, right? So there are 4 basic steps to turning that threat intelligence and put a threat modeling to work on your organization. Number 1, identify and characterize all the systems that support the mission and the corporate objectives of your organization. Now, that is just a starting point. You will run this threat modeling against at least the production environment, the main applications that support your organizations, customer facing, whatever you decide. But those are supporting the mission and the corporate objectives. Consider those as your go-to to make sure that the vulnerability and the threats that you identify on your threat intelligence will impact, if realized, those systems. Number 2, identify the cybersecurity stack capabilities you already have on those systems, because you do, but make sure what you have in there. That would be one place to start your second step. The other thing is, make sure that you use the framework that I explained on my previous video, and I'll remind again, and I'll put the link below for you to take a look. It was what I call the DIMFUI taxonomy, DIMFUI. Basically is you're not going to go after every vulnerability, but you're going to prepare against the vulnerability impact to your network. Meaning, if you have a vulnerability against clear text installing encryption, you will eliminate several vulnerabilities that use clear text as a vector to break in your organization. So one security stack capability, which is encryption, would solve several vulnerabilities and attack vectors. So we just flip the scenario. So you're not doing this over and over for every single vulnerability that attack the same weakness on your network. That would be step 2. Step 3, identify and select attack vectors that are most likable, that will occur in your network, right? That you believe that will occur in the network, because it will be very hard to cover the universe. So which are those more plausible to happen on your network? And run that scenario and see if there are any vulnerability, any gaps on your defenses, on your security that you have in place right now. That would be your step 3. And in step 4, we're going to analyze the threat model. How was it? How it ran? These 4 steps can be done on a desktop exercise, similar that you do for business continuity. Or you could have a subset of a team that you put together from your cybersecurity team, put it together and run these scenarios. If this happened, if that happened, and so forth, and analyze. Once you identify those gaps, put in a report and report that to management as areas that need improvement. However, for bonus points, and here I say, map those gaps in those vulnerabilities to cybersecurity risks that you have identified that impact the mission and the corporate objectives. So there is a risk they're already reporting to the executive leadership and perhaps even reporting to the board. Map those to those risks that you already have and are monitoring right now. That would be some bonus points.